I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. And this is a review for The Beast of War, or just The Beast, from 1988. Now this is a request from Milo. Thank you so much for that. Thank you to everyone who has requested stuff. You can either join my Patreon or send a request directly via my PayPal if you want to request any reviews or movie topics or any other type of videos. The links to both are down below in the info box. But The Beast of War is a film I had heard of quite a while. I was pleasantly surprised by this. I was pleasantly surprised. It had really good atmosphere. The desert settings definitely brought a sense of isolation. And Kevin Reynolds, he did this before he directed Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, among other films. Did a pretty good job with this. Also, the score is really good by Mark Isham, who did the music for the original Hitcher from 1986. And the plot of the film is about this group of Russians in this tank. And this is when the Russians were invading Afghanistan. And they overtake this village. And it's definitely brutal but not gory, which I was fine with in this instance, because they real explosions, there's no CG or anything of that stuff, so they're really going to town with this tank on this village. They use these gas canisters to poison people that grabbed onto the tank, including some women that tried to get into the tank. There's a guy who fucks up one of them, so they take the guy and they put him in the ground and they fucking roll the tank right over him. And thankfully we don't see anything, because even that would be like, eh. But you get enough, but not too over the top, so it becomes silly, outrageous, which makes it a bit creepier. And it's like, ooh, ouch. The fucking tank treads. You get the gist of it. One little nitpick, it was a bit weird that the Russian officers in the tank, I didn't really think of them as Russians. One of them is Jason Patrick, yes, from the Lost Boys, and would go on to be in Speed 2. And he does a good job in this. Just none of these people seem like Russians. I mean, one of them is Stephen Baldwin. If you didn't tell me they were Russians, I would have guessed it. I don't know if they did that on purpose or what the deal is. You would think, again, if you're portraying Russians, you get people that kind of sound like Russians or try to do accents. I guess not. I don't know if that was some type of stylistic choice, or someone can feel free to explain that to me. But with that said, the movie never got slow to me. Stephen Bauer from Scarface, Al Pacino's film, he finds his village has been destroyed. His brother was the one that gets run over. And you briefly see the remains Like the camera's here for a second and rises up. And the brief bits you see it, there's like nothing left. I don't even mean like chunks, like literally nothing left but some clothes. Just the way it was done was fairly creepy. But not in a Serbian film shitty way. Or other awful films, in my opinion, like Martyrs or Human Centipede shit. But his brother was the one run over, so he gets with a group of people and they want revenge on this tank. And I checked out the film, it's the tank being lost in the desert, and these guys are going after them. There's tensions within the tank between, say, Jason Patrick, the driver of the tank, and the commander who's losing it. And I thought the actors did their jobs well. I loved the score by Mark Isham. It definitely brought a moody quality. It's a good looking flick. A lot of the outer shots of the desert really made you feel the isolation, that you truly were in the middle of nowhere. And there's some good looking shots. I mean, the tank at one point has a flamethrower and it goes around in a circle and you think it's getting people, but then you realize it's a herd of deer. At one point, Jason Patrick knows this bullshit and tries to stop the commander, but they stop him. They tie him to a rock and leave him there. And the people from the village, they get there, and because Jason Patrick says a certain word, that means that to be honor bound to not kill them or anything. Protection. And because these guys left his ass, he helps them fight the tank. Which I thought that was interesting. Stephen Bauer as a character that's not supposed to speak English, I thought he did a nice job conveying his emotions and his thought process. And I like that it showcased that despite what some people think nowadays, not everybody in Afghanistan is a fucking awful person. And I thought it did that more responsibly compared to other movies that might have done that. And they definitely get some nice usage of that tank. I guess another little nitpick I have is, spoiler alert, there's this big build-up to get this RPG to shoot at this tank, and they finally do, but then all it does is just blow up the main gun, which they were out of ammo anyway, so it made that fucking pointless. So it's like, wow, all that build-up for nothing. Because then the tank, because these women, widows of the men these people had killed in the village, push these rocks down, and that helps fuck up the tank. So I wish it would have been, the RPG would have actually stopped the tank and made that build up worth it. That's just my opinion on that. But Jason Patrick's able to do a couple stuff, setting the tank on fire. I thought it had some good characterizations. Like the commander, he's losing it. But he also mentions about how his family would battle the Nazis. And then even later on, Jason Patrick goes, well, how's it that we're the Nazis this time, sir? So a couple nice food for thought, but it doesn't hammer it at home. It's just a movie that had a nice atmosphere and music to it. when the stuff with the tank, it was well done, well photographed. The actors, although the Soviets, they didn't really sound Russian at all. What do you mean sound Russian? I'm talking about Ivan Drago type of Russian. Or even, hell, even Arnold and Red Heat sounded more Russian than these guys. So maybe that was some type of choice. I don't know. And someone can feel free to explain it. Overall, I just liked the feel of the movie. I liked the idea of this tank being lost and desperately trying to get to escape. And in a way, they were the bad guys, the aggressors. But you realize that some of them are not that bad, like Jason Patrick. It showed that Kevin Reynolds was a competent director, which is probably what led to him getting films like Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves to direct. It's funny, Jason Patrick was fine in this, but yeah, he was very boring in Speed 2 Cruise Control. Go figure. So, I don't know, maybe because it's the script or the something else with that movie. And I really got sucked into it. I really got into the film. I thought it got tense at times. I thought, yeah, it was a good-looking film. I keep using atmosphere because that's a good word to use with this movie. Atmospheric. And for a film no one really talks about, rather enjoyed this movie. Rather enjoyed this film. This was pretty damn good. So I'm being kind of vague because I don't want to give everything away. But yeah, I definitely recommend it. Definitely recommend this movie. But with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.